OK, Caroline Flack's mum says ITV has learnt nothing from the death of her daughter.
Yes, Christine Flack gave an interview last night to BBC Newsnight and said ITV treats its presenters like commodities. And she also said that she's worried for Phillip Schofield.
Yeah, and showbiz reporter Stephanie Takyi joins us now. Steph, a really interesting development to the story we've been talking about all week about Phillip Schofield, because, of course, when Schofield mentioned in his interview that this is how Caroline Flack felt, there was initially a massive backlash to that from a lot of people. Yeah. But now Christine Flack has stepped in and said, actually, he has a point.
Yeah, because Christine Flack, more than anyone, she's done a lot of work on mental health since Caroline took her life in 2020. And Christine, more than anyone, she knows what the fallout is from ITV and when you're kind of left to your own devices. Caroline took her life the day after she learned that she was going to be tried, sent to trial for assaulting her boyfriend. And she had lost Love Island, which was her beloved baby, her show, and, you know, there was a lot of criticism at the time that ITV didn't do much to support Caroline, and it feels a bit like history repeating itself with Phillip Schofield. But as you said, Martin, there has been a backlash because Caroline was that was more of a personal matter. She hadn't lied to ITV, so maybe if she did stay alive, she would have had more support from them. But Phillip Schofield has come out in this interview with BBC and said that he does feel like taking his own life. So that is a bit of a call to action, and all week we have been talking about duty of care. I think there has been a lot of focus on the duty of care for his lover, but maybe not towards Phillip Schofield. He is one of their products. He has been there for 40 years. But ITV say, you know, the relationships we have with those we work with are based on trust. Phillip made assurances to us and his agency, which he now acknowledges were untrue, and we feel badly let down. As a producer and broadcaster, ITV takes its responsibilities around duty of care seriously and has robust and well-established processes in place to support the mental and physical health of employees and all those we work with.
So that's what ITV have said, and of course that's in response to this interview with Caroline Flack's mother. What were the main takeaways of that interview for you?
Well, we have a clip that we can play for audiences at home, but the main thing she said is that she feels that ITV do have that responsibility of duty of care, and she feels like almost the presenters there are treated like commodities. So we have a clip we'll play now.
It worries me because it's relentless on him. I feel, you know, I do feel worried for him. He knew Caroline, and I must say when she died, he was very upset. And I think he's now realising even more what she went through. No, they haven't learnt anything. They haven't. They treat them as commodities. And I know it's a lovely job and I know they earn money, but also the television stations that earn money from them. But they're not commodities. They're people and they're employed. And if my employee didn't take care of me, there'd be all hell to pay.
You see, there is that two-sided argument. I know we've been very much focused on the scandal, but there is the mental health of Phillip Schofield. And, you know, in that interview with BBC, he says that his daughters are staying with him day and night to make sure he doesn't do the worst. I don't think anybody wants blood on their hands out of this scandal. So, you know, we know ITV executives will be going to Parliament next week where they will face questions about duty of care. And I think it's a bigger conversation now more than Phillip Schofield. We're now looking at the whole media landscape and making sure that anybody who works within the media will have that duty of care if the need arises.
Yeah, very important conversations to have as well, Stephanie. There's another part to this story about the Soap Awards, because Phillip Schofield was meant to be presenting the Soap Awards tonight. He's, of course, not doing that anymore. We have a stand-in presenter.
We have a stand-in, the lovely Jane McDonald, who is soap crazy. She put a statement out and she said she loves soaps and she's quite honoured that she'll be able to present tonight's show. It won't be on air till Tuesday, but the Soap Awards is one of the creme de la creme of TV awards for Britain. Phillip Schofield was hoping he could hold on to that, because when he's announced he was stepping down from this morning, he was like, I'll be back for the Soap Awards, but obviously he's lost that, and now so I think it will be still a big talking point of the Soap Awards. And Jane does have big shoes to fill. You know, we cannot deny that Phillip Schofield hasn't been a talented presenter, so she will have to kind of fill that gap. But ITV now are going to have to find replacements, because as we know, on Monday Holly's coming back to the sofa. She's quite adamant. She's watched the interview with Phillip, and sources are saying, you know, while she's saddened about what's happened, the show must go on. So she will be presenting the show alongside Josie Gibson on Monday.
Surprising.
Yeah.
It is, because a lot of people were saying Alison, but I think Alison will still be drafted in maybe the week after next.
Alison Hammond was in tears on the show yesterday, saying she still loves Phillip, but she admits he's done wrong. Is it the right thing for Holly to go back? You mentioned about the MPs cross-examining ITV top brass. That's on Wednesday, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So anything could come out of that on Wednesday. Why go back Monday? Why not just wait until after Wednesday?
I think Holly, she's been pretty strong through this, because I think most people would have stepped back and said, forget it. But I think from what I've read and what I've heard, Holly's persistent to be like, I'm not guilty of doing anything wrong. And by her standing down, that's her giving into cancel culture. And she's got a bigger brand, bigger than This Morning. If she steps back from This Morning, she has to step back from the rest of her deals. So I think for Holly, it's business as usual. But like Alison, I think she's going to have to address it. She cannot just come in on Monday on the sofa and not mention Phillip and not mention that there has been a change in the show, and there will be likely more changes to come.
Yeah, and it'll be really interesting to see what she says on Monday. Stephanie Takyi, thank you so much.
Guys.
Thank you.
Superb.